No, darlings, the holiday season is traditionally a time of extraordinary excitement in the theatre. But these holidays brought us a little more than the ordinary extraordinary. ANTA, meaning American National Theatre and Academy, marked a red-letter day in its worthy history when it presented Gloria Swanson Jose Ferrer and an all-star cast in Mr. Ferrer's revival of that famous hit play of the 1931-32 season, 20th Century. So tremendous has been the public response that the play is moving over to the Fulton Theatre for an extended run. We'll give you a taste of the kind of evening you can look forward to at the Fulton by presenting now a scene from the play starring Miss Swanson and Mr. Ferrer. Ladies and gentlemen, the curtain is up on 20th Century. This is the story of an eccentric Broadway producer named Oscar Jaffe and his meal ticket, a glamorous bundle of talent and temperament, Lily Garland. This is the story of an overnight train trip on the 20th Century Limited from Chicago to New York. We are several hours east of Toledo, Ohio, as the scene opens. Lily, played by Miss Gloria Swanson, feigns sleep in her apartment. Sadie, the watchful maid, is not at all surprised when the door opens and Oscar Jaffe, played by Mr. Jose Ferrer, reconnoiters the situation.
Not a word, Sadie. We must not wake her. Poor child, nobody understands her. She's very delicate. If you don't mind, I'll just sit here for a moment and breathe the air that surrounds her, look at her little possessions, and remember things.
Sadie, who's in there?
No, I'm sorry I woke you up.
So it's you. You sneaked in while I was asleep. What do you want, Scorpion?
If it makes you any happier to call me names, go right ahead.
Oscar, you're complete. You're the most horrible excuse for a human being that ever walked on two legs.
You've always misunderstood me, Lily. You lack the true intuitive gifts to appreciate great love.
Your philosophy of love doesn't interest me, Mr. Jaffe.
I'm an Oriental, Lily. Love blinded me. That was always the trouble between us as producer and artist.
Oh, so that's what it was it? How about your name in electric lights bigger than everybody's? Your grand illusions that you were a Shakespeare and Napoleon and the Grand Lama of Tibet all rolled into one.
You're absolutely right.
What?
I'm big enough to admit it. I never appreciated your real greatness until I lost you. Why, that last quibble we had about percentages, gad, how small, how cheap I was. What egotism, not to know that it was Lily Garland and not Oscar Jaffe.
Running all over town telling people that you had to put chalk marks on the stage so that I'd know where to stand. That you had to teach me to talk like a parrot.
God, it was despicable. I could cut my throat. But I've paid for it 1,000 times since. When I saw that last movie of yours, I only blame myself.
Oh, you've seen it, eh? Well, you'll be glad to know that it's a tremendous success.
Oh,
I'm marvelous in it. Superb.
Don't say that, Lily, please. Don't.
Here, if you don't believe me, look at this.
Now, where did you get this dreadful thing? For bowling?
Well, read what it says.
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. It's pathetic, isn't it? Don't fall for this sort of thing, Lily. There were moments in the film when you were marvelous. Yes, they couldn't stop the real Lily from coming through several times. But that cheap story, that clumsy, unimaginative director, well, he must have been related to the bank.
Well, you're right there. And you want to know why? The director was an idiot. I couldn't get anything into his head. I had to fight him all the time.
It was sacrilege to throw you away on a man like that. I wouldn't have him for my office boy. And the lighting in that picture. Don't you remember how I always brought the lights up every time you stepped on the stage? You became a radiant creature to the audience. People left the theater feeling that they had gone through some great spiritual experience. I left that movie house feeling that some magnificent ruby had been set in a platter of lard. You put yourself back 10 years, Lily, but we can mend that. You'll be greater than ever.
Listen, Oscar, if all this adage is by any chance preliminary to a contract, you can save your breath because I'm not
Who said anything
interested.
about contracts? Shame on you, Lily.
What are you talking about? You do anything to get my name on a contract.
This billiard trophy, this obscene lead statue must be doing things to you. I didn't come in here with contracts. I came with a dream we both had long ago. The thing we planned as a climax to your career. The last golden stare.
Look out.
The courtesan. The great courtesan role.
Oh, look out. Oh, no. So this is a big surprise you have for me. Another part where I'm unworthy of the lieutenant's love and make the great sacrifice.
I wouldn't sneer if I were you.
All right, what is it this time? Montezuma again, or that big drama about Hairpin Annie, the pride of the gas house?
No, Lily, it's none of these things. This happens to be the greatest woman of all time. Just her memory has kept the world weeping for centuries. The Magdalene.
Magdalene who?
Now, you listen to me, Lily Garland. I'm going to put on the Passion play in New York with Lily Garland as Mary Magdalene. I've had it up my sleeve all this time, waiting for the right moment. The wickedest woman of her age. Sensual, heartless, and beautiful. Corrupting everything she touches. Running the gamut from the gutter to glory. Can't you see her, Lily? This little wanton reduced to helplessness. Standing in the street. Sobbing and wet through with her own tears. I'm going to have Pontius Pilate ride by in a chariot, and I'm going to splash mud all over her.
No, wait. A Pilate sees me. He does a pace.
Yes.
His horse bolts. And Pontius is thrown out on his feet with a broken neck. Oh, and I smile through my tears.
Lily, that's an inspiration. Go on while you're in the creative mood.
Well, I'll tell you how I see the whole thing. I can see the Magdalene as a woman who was an aristocrat at the beginning.
Yes.
And after being broken-hearted by some man she loved madly and trusted, she went down, down, down.
Into the dead.
Hating and despising all men, laughing at them, so cruel, so terribly cruel.
Yes, Lily, I'm going to make it my greatest production. Gamble every penny on it. I've brought over an entire troop from Europe. Smuggled them across the Alps right through 4 Iron Curtains. It cost me my shirt, but I wanted them. 2 of them are geniuses.
No, wait a minute, Oscar.
Lily, if the play runs for 5 years, I won't make $1. You can have all the money. I only want to stagger New York. A desert scene with 100 camels and real sand brought over from the Holy Land. I'm going to have a Babylonian banquet that you give for your lover in the second act, the governor of Judea, Pontius Pilate, with your slaves all around you. You're covered with emeralds in that scene from head to foot. But that's nothing to the finish, where you stand in rags.
Rags?
In rags, and the Emperor Nero himself offers you half his empire. You answer him with a speech that is probably the greatest piece of literature ever written, and figured with love and sacrifice, and all the lights just pouring down on you. Nero cringes. And the last we see of you is this little pathetic figure selling olives in the marketplace. It's really sublime. Tell me, have I reached the artist in you? What is it?
You're crazy.
What do you mean?
He does listen to you, Oscar. You're a pure case of leaping paranoia.
Lily.
No, I am not angry. You're too funny to make anybody angry.
Don't be cheap, Lily.
Coming in here with a lot of camels and real sand from the Holy Land, you're a scream. You're going to put on the Passion play. Oh, you haven't $100 to your name.
I can raise millions.
Yes, and I know how you intend to raise them. Get my name on a contract and go out peddling it. Shake down some new angel on the strength of my reputation. Well, no, thank you. I'm through being your meal ticket.
You're at liberty to call up any one of my banks in the morning.
Your banks? You mean the ones that are taking your theaters away from you?
That's a lie. You've been listening to my enemy.
I've been listening to Mr. Oliver Webb, your so-called business manager, who broke in here with a sob story about that you were going to commit suicide unless I took pity on you. Well, you go on and commit it. It would be a blessing to all concerned.
Lily, what in heaven's name are you talking about? Mr. Webb is no longer with me. I fired him for stealing.
Oh, shut up. I've had enough of your lies.
Listen to me. I'm offering you your one last chance to become immortal.
Thank you, but I've decided to stay mortal with a responsible management. Max Jacob.
I can't believe it.
No, read the papers in the morning, then.
Jacob. He's got paresis. I had to fire him to protect the health of my office force. He's a thief besides. Illiterate. He can hardly write his name.
He writes it on text, all right, in great big text, too.
Oh, it's money you want. That's what you want. Just another Broadway hand. That's what you've become. I suppose if I jingled a miserable $10,000 or $15,000 in front of your nose, your mouth would begin to water. You'd start drooling and squealing. Gimme.
That's right, Oscar. Now get out of here before I have the porter thrown off the train.
Look out who gets thrown off the train.
Get out of here, you fake, you swindler, you!
Hit me, you cheap little shop
Get
girl.
out before I call the conductor.
Go on, ring that bell. I'll tell the world who's a fake. You are. I made you. I taught you everything you know. Your voice, your walk, your cheap little talents. They are mine. I gave them to you. I gave up everything to breathe them into you. Even your name, Lily Garland. I gave you that.
Porter, Sadie, conductor!
Well, as sure as there's a God in heaven, Mildred Platt, you'll wind up where you belong. In burlesque.
You low!
Bring them on. I'll tell the whole train. I'll tell the whole world. Mildred Platt.
Conductor, throw this man out. Throw him off the train!